So we're here on day 2. Yesterday, I poured this beautiful countertop with the Polycoat CT hybrid coating, and I loved how it turned out. Everything flowed nice, the edges came out beautifully. So today we're getting ready to do the top coat with the SP Elite in gloss. Now what I did is I sanded the top with 320 grit. I did 2 passes just to smooth out any dust nibs that were in there. And then I wiped it with a wet microfiber towel. You do not need to use any alcohol or acetone the second day. Because it's still in its curing window, just avoid all solvents and just stick with water. And then I took a blue shop towel and I wiped that clean to make sure there was no dust. Now, if you want to wait 2 days after, you can use a little alcohol to clean it if you need to, but honestly, why add more chemicals into this? Just don't need to do that. So we're gonna mix this up and we'll show you just how easy it is. Okay, this is a 2-to-1 product, and I have some sample boards we're going to put this on as well. So I'm going to use 9 ounces of this material. I took the square footage, which is 17 square feet, and I multiplied that by 0.375, and it gives me a little over 6 ounces. So I round up to the next 3-ounce marker. Make sure you shake up your part A, whether you're using gloss or matte. Okay. So we're gonna do 6 ounces. Pour from the side and it'll help it pour out nice and smooth. I'm gonna do 6 ounces of A. And 3 ounces of part B. Now you can see it's already very fluid. I don't need to add any water to this. Now what I'm being told is if you are in a part of the country where this may change temperatures in shipping, your part A may be a little bit thicker. If it isn't this consistency when you mix, you can add a drop or 2 of water. It'll just be up to you if you want to thin it out just a tiny, tiny bit, but it really isn't necessary as long as your consistency looks like this. For this size of a mixture, I'm gonna give it a full minute of mixing. And then we're gonna roll this out with 6-inch rollers and show you just how easy it is. We have all the time in the world and no lap lines. All right, so I have Travis fighting me for what? Go ahead, babe, it's all you. He's just gonna work my edges for me with the little 4-inch. Thank you. I'm gonna wet my roller with my 6-inch here. Now you can roll this out. He's gonna back roll, but you really don't have to be in a hurry with this material. You just wanna get it on there and it'll be good to go. On the sample boards, I will show what to do if you see a mistake or you wanna go back and roll it again. I'll show you that you just can't seem to make a lap line if you try. So I'm just going to go ahead and back roll with the wet roller. Gosh, this is so dry. I don't even think we need a dry roller, to be honest.
Sounds good to me.
Now I'm just making one pass on here, but I could go back if I needed to. If like you know, let's see, there's a little bit of extra, you know, material and I wanted to smooth it out, you can do that with this material, no issue. Gosh, that looks so good. I'm gonna even do it one more time. I'm gonna show you guys how I can go back, smooth this out even more, go a little lighter in my texture. I actually like going back over it. Smooths it out really nice.
All right, so I'm here. I'm gonna do this sample with the leftover top coat that I had from this project over here. In the roll of things, I'm usually the guy that goes after Stacy and does dry rolling. So I actually have no experience of initially rolling on a wet roll. So she says that it doesn't need a back roll. So I'm gonna try it by myself. Just watching it, what she had done.
Now I think if your roller is super saturated, you will want to have a dry roller ready. So if you're going to use a really big, if you have a really big project or you're going to use a bigger roller and it gets super saturated, I think a dry roll would be beneficial.
As much as I help out with the UTC and the top coats for the projects that we do, I'm always the back roll guy.
Yeah, well with this SP Elite,
so user friendly.
you don't have to worry about it.
So being that I have no experience, this is like, for me, I was always having a bit of anxiety whenever we were using UTC. Not to say anything bad about it, but this is so forgiving.
Okay, I want you to cross hatch it. I want you to go diagonal. Right. Like do whatever. I just want you to go to town with this. Normally by now you'd be like, oh dear, right? That's gonna leave lines. Yeah. Now smooth out your lines. Done. I'm gonna use this one. Let's use this because mine's already wet. And we'll do this sample. This is another sample. So the first one you saw was like a Carrara marble. This is a wood grain technique to mimic, what's that kind of wood, babe?
Kind of like a driftwood.
Driftwood. That's the word I was looking for. Driftwood. So this is a sample board to mimic driftwood.
It's like an aged driftwood.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not gonna go crazy town with this. I'm just going to back roll it, same roller. Now I'm seeing, because mine is pretty saturated, that it is leaving a little more of a stipple, but it's not bad, honestly. Let me see here. Let's see what this does now. Now we have a dry roll. So I'm not gonna prime it. I'm just gonna go.
Oh wow, that really calmed it down.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna over roll this because it does change the texture of the filling just a little bit if you go crazy, but you can see that it's a nice soft look.
Maybe try dry rolling over this one.
Oh, sure.
I can see it. That it's really calming down the texture that was there from all that cross hatching.
But it feels a little different. So when you over roll it, it's a little bit of a different texture. It's still nice. I like it when you don't over roll, but if you don't want any texture, you can roll it away. Just know it's gonna feel a little bit different to the touch. But overall, look how easy that was. There you have it. Let us know what you think.